What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for joining Dog Days Podcast, episode number 8. I'm here with Jeremy Sebree, the operator of PAWFECT K9. Me and him kind of rapped a little bit before, and I just reached out to him so he can sit down with us and tell us a little bit about dog training, life experiences. We just here to rap. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I've been doing good, man. How you been? I've been seeing you been grinding for real, for real.
Man, it's been a good year for me and the dogs, man, and the team here at PAWFECT K9, man. We get ready to go to Nationals here in a couple days here in Virginia. So the grind don't stop, man. Trying to close the year out and hopefully Banner get his entry level. Looking forward to seeing all the competitors out there. And I know we're gonna try to hit your event next year, man. The Throwdown, man.
Yeah, you came to. I first met you at Throwdown. What that was 2018, 19, something like that.
It was 18.
2018 at the school.
Yep.
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 You had
And the two bullies.
The two bullies, Caesar and the blue one.
Yep. Season and Phantom. Yep.
Yep. So I feel like you made a switch between like bullies and like more game dogs.
So I originally started out with game dogs back in the day in Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. So I started off with pit bulls. And then when I moved to St. Louis in 2003, I actually had 4 or 5 pits with me. And I moved to a neighborhood when I bought my house out there that they had a ban law. You couldn't have pit bulls in that area. So I ended up having to get rid of my dogs, had to rehome them. And I got out the dog game for about 6, 7 years. I didn't do any dog thing. I ended up getting a bull mastiff. Then I actually was like, you know what, I'm going to get back into the game. And a buddy of mine had a bully. At the time, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, okay, let me get some puppies off him. And I moved to an area where I can have pit bulls and bullies. So I tried the bullies, and I was working them pretty good, but I realized after your competition, that was my first time putting them on any kind of competition field. And I realized that their body type was totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't as agile. They overheat fast, and the heat was really beating them up and stuff like that. So I remember at the Battle of Atlanta when I seen you the second time, and Phantom redeemed himself from that stuff he had to throw down. I said to myself then, I'm like, you know what, I'm going back to pit bulls. I knew it then. I said I'm going back to pit bulls, even though he did good and took second. I said I'm going back to game dogs. That's what I'm going to get into. So I got in contact with a couple cats that I've been watching, following online, like Clay and Justin Brooks. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go work their dogs first. Let me see how their dogs are, and I'm gonna go get me a dog from them. So
Okay.
that's what I did, and
So you like the athleticism a little bit better. Is it the athleticism or just you think their grittiness is better too?
well, see the bullies that I had, like Caesar, he had the grit and everything else is the same as the game dog. If you ask me, he had a crazy nice bite on him. I like the athleticism. I like the explosiveness of them. I also like how agile they are. They move better when you're doing obedience. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's
overall,
faster.
I like the complete pack. Yes. You know what I'm saying. Like so, also the reflexes are faster. In case like me and you, how we like it. We like our dogs to take what's available. You know what I'm saying. Like
Right.
versus going in one specific area. Let's be training for sport. So I like the reflexes where they don't. It's easy for them to get to something versus a bully. If he jump up top, it's gonna be slow. If you make him miss, he's gonna try to redirect. It's gonna be a little bit
Yeah.
slower. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. I heard you say that you from Chicago. You where now? St. Louis, right?
I'm in St. Louis now. Yes.
So you grew up in Chicago, like when you left and went to St. Louis.
Yeah, I spent 23 years in Chicago. I moved to St. Louis in 2003.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I've been out here almost. What'd you say?
No, go ahead.
I've been in St. Louis almost 20 years now.
Okay. When you got out of high school?
I graduated in 1999.
Okay, so you 40, 41.
I just turned 42 back in June.
Turned 42?
Yep, I just turned 42 June 25th.
Dang, boy. So I thought I was old. but I just made 40, right? So my wife always telling me that I'm having like midlife crisis and stuff, just because I'm always like doing something different. You know, it started off with the decoy stuff, then from decoy to doing jujitsu, and you know, and now I actively compete
Yeah,
in
I've been
jujitsu.
seeing you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been seeing
so
you like and me, but that's what keep us young though, being active.
yeah, man. It's that and them damn filters you be using. I said, man, this boy I think he he put the filter on. I said, nah,
Hey
I ain't never
man,
seen nobody using no filter. But
especially with the
you
glitter on it.
used to wrestle, right?
Oh yeah, I've been wrestling for a while. Yep, I wrestled for many years.
Okay. When you got into that?
I got into that when I was younger, man. Like all my brothers wrestled, um, um, and we all did pretty good on that platform. I wrestled a little bit before high school, junior high. Wrestled all 4 years in
Mm-hmm.
high school. I wrestled in college for a year. So I've been wrestling. I got about like at least 10 years in the game of wrestling.
Cool. Yeah, man. It's a rush, man. Like people are like, oh man, you don't get nothing out of doing jujitsu, but I do. It's like it's just like decoying. It's like a self-fulfilling thing. It's just something that you just want to do. So I just
And you
kind of
know,
keep that up.
and and, and it's crazy because I got a different respect for jiu-jitsu because they had brought someone in when I was in college
Mm-hmm.
and was just showing us different ground techniques. And we was all been a little cocky, like, what is this dude doing? What did he got going on, man? We can just take him down to the ground. Nah, man, I took the dude down to the ground. He put me in the arm bar. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. And I'm
Then
like, this is
wrestlers like
something
to
totally
stick their
different. He
neck
was
out
like,
too.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, what is this? And then he was like, because he wanted to be on his back. And I'm like,
Right.
because in wrestling, like you don't want to be on your back. So he was cool. Like so, when we thought we was taking him down, in reality, he wanted to go on his back.
It's just getting started.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like so, I got a different respect for it. I actually wanted to do it a couple years back. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see
You
how it
should
go.
try, bro. My brother just started at 41. You already got the wrestling experience, so that's gonna take you a little bit further than the average person. Like if you used to wrestle in high school, you still pretty athletic. You should just get into it. You'll make good progress fast though. Like just because you already
Yeah,
wrestle, you know.
I'm most definitely interested in it big time. Cause I'm always trying to do something and keep the heart going, keep the blood pumping. And I'm an adrenaline junkie myself. That's why I stay doing seminars and stuff like that. So we'll see how it go.
Super addictive though. Super addictive. Take over your life. Hollywood used to wrestle.
Oh yeah, I know Hollywood used to wrestle. Me and him talked about that. Me and him talked about
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. It was probably about 6 7 months ago we talking about wrestling. We both know some of the same people and some of the same stories that we done seen about the wrestling community and stuff like that. So yeah, I know my man used to wrestle too.
Yeah. He used to come and try to take me down, do all this crazy wrestling stuff, and I just do some jujitsu to him real quick. I ain't know nothing about no wrestling, but for his size though, he pretty quick and fast. Like he'll get me down, and I'll start working from there. But as far as like defending like the shots and stuff, he was pretty quick with that.
Yeah, wrestling got its own. If you can be a good defensive wrestler, that's pretty good to have in your arsenal, man. Like stop people from taking you down and stuff like that. It's just what you do, man. There's so many different avenues, and like you said, we may leave our neck out, and we're not thinking about that. You looking for that? You looking for an arm? You looking for a wrist? We're not thinking about none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like so that makes it
Yeah,
a
no,
totally bit different
it's
ball game.
definitely fun. The transfer is good too. Like as far as how it moves into the decoying, like the athleticism, your footwork, getting up from a dog, just your body awareness. I think that it helps out a lot. Most people who are really good decoys were athletes.
Right? Yeah, I totally agree with that. 120%. So what's the plan with you and Reaper over there, man?
That's another topic. But so He's just let me say this. If I had to tier all the dogs that I've ever had, he's probably the best dog genetically that I've had. But
Mm-hmm.
a little too cuckoo on like he loses it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. No, I
So
get you.
like so bruh check out on you in drive. Like super check out. So I've probably been trying everything under the sun. And you probably know what I'm talking about because I seen you post a thing with Bandit, right?
Yes,
And
100%.
I feel
Yes.
like they have a similar issue. Reaper may be a little bit more crazy, or I may be handling it a little bit differently. Like I might not be attacking the problem the right way. You got what I'm saying? Because they definitely make you
Right.
reevaluate. Damn, am I doing the right thing? What is he learning? How is he taking in the information? Because all the dogs I've ever had before, um, even before I started like reward based training, even before treats and balls, I was just all compulsion. I would get the behavior that I was looking for, and I had compliance. If I told my dog to out, it's outing, and I had no doubt in my mind about that. If I say guard, it's
Right.
guarding. Escort, escort. Him, he get in a bite. He just going, I'm a out. Lush. He got to stay in there for a little while longer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, when he was a puppy, when he was really young, he was cleaning his house. Like I had him coming back off the whistle at like 7 months, 6, 7 months. Blow the whistle, he come back, get the tug. And as he got older, once he hit about a year, 14 months, he started going crazy. Like it just, I don't know. It just seemed like he got more and more hard headed.
Mm-hmm. No, I had some, most definitely had some similar issues with Bandit. Even at the trial I just did, it's crazy. Before that trial, I swear to you, man, that dog probably outed 300-400 times with no collars on. Perfect. Out sits. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm talking about from distance, off leash, everything. And then we got to this trial. He blew me off. I'm like, whoa. And then it's crazy when I got him back home. I was like, all right, we're gonna get back to the drawing board to see what's going on. And he had this intensity in him. I'm like, well, he was already intense, but he was hitting the decoys, and he was still on that same BS. I'm like, oh man, this dude is on one. So I went all the way back to the drawing board. What I did to get his outs clean again. Hopefully, I got the problem fixed. But you know how the game go, bro. We
Hey,
only time we tell this Saturday when I go to trial field. So I don't know.
you you gotta you don't really know until you get out there to the trial field. Because my dog, I feel like he's smart to the trial setting. So like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when we on my spot training, or we at like a training spot, he know that. And then when we get to the event, I can tell when I take him out the car that he's like, you know, when he see the
Oh yeah.
decoys walking, I'm like, oh damn, here we go.
Oh
And
yeah. And see,
I could tell when he checking out. So I just do a little bit of corrections, put him back up, and just try to get his head in the game like way before I get on the field. But
right.
he's the first dog I had to deal with like that.
And Bandit is my second dog because Aries was my dog. Aries, my bully, it was actually worse than Bandit. Aries was bad on the outs. I got him on the trial field and he did his thing, but he was pretty bad on the outs too. So I actually
That's the
took the bite away from him. I came, huh?
that's the champagne dog.
Yeah, that's my champagne boy. So I got Caesar is Caesar's son. Aries is Caesar's son. So
Okay.
I actually took the bite away from him for months, just coming in on decoy neutrality, until he got to a point where he was like, okay, I need to pay attention to you before I even get a bite. So that actually worked for him. I just came in for like 3 months straight, once a week, working with decoys, decoy neutrality. He was lit. Like the first month, he was just staying lit, just leaking all over the place and everything else. So I did some compulsion training with him, and uh, high dollar rewards. And then like the second month, he just came in there like, okay, we're not biting, we're just having fun. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like, and it came
what
out of
did
nowhere
you
though too.
reward him with?
With him, he don't like balls. I got this pillow off Liber. It's like it got two handles on it, and it's a really nice pillow. He likes that pillow, and he likes the pedal because he can really sink his teeth into it. He can bite real good, but he don't like he don't like the regular tugs. He don't like the balls. This is more like I'll send you a picture of it later on today. It's more like a bite. As a matter of fact, it's in my van. It's more like a synthetic pillow, and it's not that big. And he loved that. He fell in love with that, and I can really play with him. I can tell him, but he don't like tugs and he don't like balls. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't like them. But that pillow he liked. But it was just the fact of bringing him out there all the time. And the first time I put him on the bike, and I was out him for a while on that tub. You know, so just compulsion training and rewarding him when he come off the bike. You know the regular stuff. And after that, I put him on the bike. I put him on the back tire. I put him on the bike for the first time. He came off the bike. I rewarded him with the tug when he came off the bike on the back tire. And then I didn't let him bite again for like 2 weeks. Put him back on the back tire. I did obedience first. Now he don't come out the car and hit the field unless we do obedience first. So I don't never do it just coming him out because sometimes we bring him out, want to give him a bite real quick and put him up. I don't do that with him or Bandit no more. They strictly come out. So to me, honestly, in the beginning, I think I messed up because there's been times I knew he knew obedience, I knew he knew how to out, he was doing great. But I think I got to a point where I just bring him out the car, and I had relaxed on that. I'm bringing him out the car like, okay, I'm gonna send him in for a bite, and I'm gonna get him off. So he got used to just coming out and just getting bites. You know what I'm saying? And me doing obedience in the process versus him making. So I think that's where I messed up with him and Bandit. You know what I'm saying? Like so. But now I got Bandit back right. He's out and fast, cool. But we'll see this Saturday at the Nationals. What do you do?
How does he? How do you feel like he compares to Bandit? I mean, not Bandit. How does he compare to the black dog? How does the dog what's your black dog's name? Smoke.
Smoke.
How does Bandit compare?
Bandit is a more intense dog. Smoke is my ideal dog because he's compliant. He's not over the top. He's not dog aggressive. I can take him anywhere, put him in any setting. He's totally fine. Bandit is a little nervy. And what I mean by that, like, he get on the field and he know about to go, you can see him shaking. He like, oh my God, it's about to go down. Smoke would just be laying there just like waiting, just like, okay, just tell me what we're doing. So like with Smoke, I never used the e-collar, probably used a prong on him once, and you've seen his outs. I didn't have no issues out of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Bandit is a more intense dog. He has more intensity. Like he much more intense. Smoke is more compliant, more. It's easy for him to have more clarity because he's not in drive. Even in drive, he's not all like, yeah, you know what you're dealing with a Reaper. Like he's not like, fuck you, I'm blowing you off. It's not like that with him.
Yeah. I said, how much of the training, how much of it do you think is training versus the dog itself? Like, because a lot of people say, oh, I got this dog, same type of dog. They're kind of similar, but this dog's doing this and this dog's not. And how much of that would you say is the dog versus your style of training?
I think majority of it is the dog because if you think about it, you've seen my bully, you've seen two of my bullies, you've seen Aries, and you've seen Smoke. So Bandit is my fifth working dog, right? Those first four dogs, right, all of them was different in their own way, but all of them had outs with no problem. So the training, you know what I'm saying? Like, so dealing with multiple dogs, okay, I had to navigate different ways, but the training was consistent with all of them, right? Don't mean it was the same, but it still stayed consistent. Like, okay, I need to do this with this one. When it came to Bandit outs. He's always been a little bit more intense. So genetically, me personally, he's a harder dog. Like his drive is through the fucking roof. And the crazy part is when he's in drive, he just gone. He would. You ever had that dog that look at you knowing that he's about to pay the consequences for it, but do it anyway?
Oh yeah, look. So I don't know if you see that. I got tagged. Reaper, like, he look at me like he in good focus. He look up, look at the decoy, look up, go for the decoy. But he think I'm about to correct him but I didn't get a chance to correct him. He just blank. I'm like, oh, you better.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. That kind of wild stuff. Yeah, he be
Yeah,
tripping,
so
bro.
I think genetically he's a different he's more intense. But like I said, it's crazy because Aries was worse than with him than the outs. So Bandit is cool. It's just that when he get in drive, man, when he lose it, he's gone at it. So the biggest thing I try to do is try to get his mind right before we hit the field as much as I possibly can, and try to maintain that through the course of a trial. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right, right. Yeah, I
yeah.
got you. Yeah. So just to switch it up a little bit, I just want to talk about like your journey from dog training to decoying to teaching other people and how that process went for you. Like where you started, who was your uh like who influenced you, who was like a person that mentored you. Just start kind of from the beginning and how you got
The
into
first
it.
time I ever took a bite, or my first experience with decoying work, was when I was young. I was like 13 or 14. Um, I knew this police guy in Chicago, and he was a real good friend of my uncle. And he was training police dogs, and he had a yard full of pits. You talking about 13? I'm 13 years old. So I seen him training dogs in his backyard. He had all the police departments there. He was doing bike work in the suit, and I was like, man, it kind of intrigued me instantly. I'm like, man, what is he doing? Right. So I told him, like, I want to be involved in that. Like, how can I be involved in that? So he put me in the suit, and gave me my first bite. I took a bite from one of his pit bulls, and knocked me down, knocked the wind out of me. And the first thing he said was on the ground, like, you better keep moving or he's gonna go for your face. So that was my first experience in the bite suit. I'm like, oh, so, and after that, I worked with him for a couple of years, and then he ended up passing away. So I stopped working with him for a while. Then I just started doing stuff on my own for a little bit. Then, life things happened, got in school, trying to get my finances up. That really wasn't paying the bills, put away to college. Got to St. Louis, tried to get with the dog market in St. Louis. Nobody really was doing nothing until I thought that was at good standards. So I left it alone for a while. Then I got me a dog. I said, I want to get back into it. And I started dabbling back into it again, started decoying a little bit more again. And I ran across trying to get into a sport. I'm like, all right, let me see what's going on. And I heard about I heard about PSA first. And if PSA was cool at the time, it really wasn't my style. I'm like, okay, because the guy who trained me, he was more of a personal protection guy. So I really wasn't used to, sticking your arm out there giving bites and stuff like that. So at the time, I really wasn't into that sport. Now I think different about it because it's most definitely take a skill set to do that sport. You know what I'm saying? That's just my honest opinion, right? So and I appreciate the sport, and I'm actually gonna compete in the next year myself. But then I found APDA, and I'm like, all right. So I dialed in APDA. I got to looking it up, and I was like, you know what? I want to get into this. And I said, okay, let me get into this. And I want to, before I go do a decoy camp, I need to find somebody that's doing this, and so they can show me this, because I knew they was working the dog in a different style. They was working the dog in a style to keep the dog safe and stuff like that. So I hit up my man Justin Brooks, who was an APDA decoy. He was certified in the sport. I said, okay, let me get with him. So I linked up with Justin, ran it up to Chicago a couple of times, worked with him. And then along my journey, I found my brother Marcus, who also wanted to get into decoying dogs and stuff like that. So I grabbed him. He went to Tom Rose School, learned a couple things there, and I grabbed him, and we went on to create the duo that we have now. So then me and him both decided to go to APDA at the same time and go for our certifications. Because you know how it is, man. A lot of people out here just, you see a lot of backyard training. They have no format to how they work in the dog. They just out here taking a piece of equipment and catching the dog. Don't know how to apply pressure. Don't know how to, when to help the dog, when not to help the dog. Don't know what drive the dog's in. Don't know when the dog's been defensive. None of that stuff. So, um, I then also, like Charlie, started bringing Charlie out. Charlie gave me a totally different perspective, like, of his world. So just in learning stuff from him, learning his seminars, and like just watching what he doing, eating it up from him. And then Mose. So to go back to answer your question, the biggest influences of my style have been Charlie Randolph, Ty Nero, and Mo Higgins. Those have been the biggest influence of my adding to my own style right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I would say those guys, those guys
So
most
so
definitely.
where did you so even the obedience, you got all the obedience from them, or you already started doing that? Like, where did the obedience part start?
No. The obedience started with myself. Like I learned that. I learned a lot of that from the old man. But I also was in a shissing club up here in St. Louis for about 6 months. So I learned a lot of my obedience from shissing.
That's how I go. So yeah, Schützen teaches you, because they're so meticulous about things. It teaches you a lot about, because I was in South Metro for a year with Wallace, and as far as like decoying, like all these people, they want to go to schools and learn, which is a good thing. But in a school setting, you're not going to get the reps. You're not going to be able to read a dog. That comes with time and experience, and you know, in the suit and stuff like that. So I try to tell like a lot of young people coming up, man, just get under somebody who's going to teach you
Mm-hmm.
and stay there. You know what I'm saying? And just get those. So somebody who's going to critique you. A lot of people, they get in the game, they think they know everything, and then they go. And then when they start, they leave you. And then when they start running into problems, you know, they they try to find somebody to blame for not being successful at what they do. I know people who've been doing this sport for 20, 30 years, bro, and they still,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same place where I met them. You got what I'm saying?
But and see with me, um, I tell everybody like I didn't learn any obedience from any of those guys. Now Ty Nero helped me critique a couple things because I think out of those, and Mo gave me some pointers too because he's been in shits for a while too. So it's certain things that Mo have bounced off me as well too. But Ty and Mo, with Charlie, I learned so much about a different aspect of personal protection in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he showed me a couple things. And still to this day, like I'll post a scenario or something, and Charlie hit me up. And this is one thing I like about Charlie. He's not looking for the clout, right? So he inbox me all the time, like Jay, you need to tweet this, do this right here, and this is the way they can test the dog in this aspect. In this aspect. And I didn't think about that. I'm like, oh, okay. I appreciate it, bro. Like, so he always helping me. So big shout out to Charlie, man. He always helping me in critiquing my work and making sure that I'm looking at it a different perspective and make sure that I'm always challenging the dog. You know what I'm saying? That's why I will always support what he does. Always
Yeah.
come to his events. And the same thing with Ty Nero. Ty Nero stay in my inbox. Like, yo, or no, Ty call me like, yo, what are you doing? And you know, Ty approach is a little bit different. So
Yeah.
Ty,
Yeah.
Ty like, what are you doing? I don't know why you're doing this. You looking like a grandma doing this. So Ty's a little bit different. Mo has shown me. I learned a lot of different aspects of muzzle work from Mo. A lot of different aspects of muzzle work.
Yeah. More teacher. We've been doing a lot of the police dog work together since he's been down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the way he teaches.
Yes, he's a very good coach.
He's real yeah. His coaching or his transfer of information is good to other people. But one thing I do say, bro, we need to like stick together. You got what I'm saying? And like, because everybody has a lane. Mo does detection. I like to teach decoying.
Mm-hmm.
Of more of anything, more than like train the dog and all that. I would rather, if I could just have a bunch of people learn the decoy, I would teach that.
Right.
And then it's just, man, a lot of people just don't. I don't know, man. They don't stick together. I think everybody just want to be like the leader of something instead of like eating together and growing.
And see, this is my thing. And I had a conversation with somebody, and it's one guy I'm gonna name, man, Jansen. I think he's in Alabama. That dude is probably the one of the
Yeah, I know
most.
Jensen.
He's probably one of the most humble dudes. If you sit down and talk to him, and I can send him like we talk quite a bit. And me and he's a big supporter of mine. He's gonna be a good upcoming dude, man. Once he settle in like he's supposed to, I think. I think he's going. I think he's on the rise. I think he's starting to put it together. I think he's going to be good. But what I see in the community right now, a lot of people's like what you just said. Their pride and they think they know it all. And when somebody try to tell them something, they they think they know it all, so they don't want to listen, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
even you done gave me like, yo, Jay, this is what happened with the dog. You should have did X, Y, and Z. I saw this from you in X, Y, and Z. I was very humble when you said that to me. Like, all right, bro, you know what, you right. All right, cool. I ain't argue with you. I ain't take it as a shot. I took it as like, well, shit, the dog messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me. What you see from what you see from my on the sideline as a spot, I didn't see it. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, like
Right.
with Charlie, with Todd, with Mo, when they speak, bro, I just listen. Like, okay, cool. And that don't mean I have to agree with everything they saying, but at the same time, I'm humbled enough to say, y'all don't have to talk to me. Y'all giving me the advice. I'm cool with that.
Right. Yeah, man. Because when I started, not dog training, but the club of, because I've been in the club before 05, 06, I started US K9 group with Lil G, Garland Worley, Robert Garland. I don't know if you know Q, K9 Strike Team.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a big influence to most of the people down here. Most of these guys work for Art Washington back in the day, like, and they was at Premier K9, and they came from that. Charlie knows who he is, but so I started with those guys, and then my base is personal protection. So I just came from that base and doing police and military dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing that for a while, and then I started the club because all this training other people's dogs, our dogs wasn't getting the same work. So I'm like, okay, us as trainers and decoys, we'll come together. We just work each other's dogs.
Right.
And so we were the first group. We were the first decoy camp for APPDA.
Yeah, I seen a video of that long time ago. I didn't even know that. I'm like, yo, I didn't know them boys out there doing that.
Yeah, we were the first trial and the first group of decoys to start. So it was me, Rodney, Marcus, Cowboy, Josh Bailey, Cortland, and somebody else. It was 6 of us that passed the APPDA decoy camp, and then we came some months later, came back and did the trial here in Atlanta at our spot, and then that went pretty good. It was pouring down rain and all that, but it was overall it was good. So my initial thing, I was going to dive all the way into APPDA. That was our club was APPDA base first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Well, not first, but we was already a club. And then when APPDA came about, because we competed in it before Ty had it. You know what I'm saying? When it was in Florida with David Kuhneman and Earl.
So let me ask you this: why y'all don't keep going with it now?
So let me see. I'm trying to figure out how to say that. So I like this sport, right? And I don't think it's much different. Some of the pressure is different and the presentation is different, but it's not much different. You could take a PSA dog and flip-flop between the two sports. You got what I'm saying? And I felt like it was like this rival thing with APPDA and PSA. You know what I'm saying? Which was stupid.
Right.
But and also I like the way I protect. And when I started, it wasn't like it is now. It wasn't as organized. It was the first trial, it was the beginning. And, I just had my own things about the people who was like moving with the sport. And I felt like, damn, what the hell? Like we trying to start this, you know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to be ahead first into it. And then, we went to Maryland. We went to I think it was like a mock trial up there. And then me and Ty had kind of got into it a little bit. They had a little back and forth. And then, I flew way out there. Nobody paid me for nothing. I brought my whole team out there. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't get paid. We didn't get paid for that. So I was just like, man, I don't really have to do this. Like I'm really supporting the group at its inception. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Facts. Yeah. Most definitely.
And to do APPDA at that time would be introducing the following that I already have with the throwdown to that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I still want to do it. I just was talking to the people that I'm training with right now about doing it. I like it. I think they need to move. Like everything is in
the East Coast,
New York, Jersey, Virginia.
So
That's it.
so so let me give you a little bit light about that. Like so, next year you're going to see it more so in the Midwest. Also, you know what I'm saying? Like so, that's one of
Okay.
the biggest things. Doing like so, it's actually on the climb. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like this national, and it may not be a lot to compare to other sports, but we got almost 30 some dogs in the national. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's
Right.
about to be a nice national. Like we got the Misfit guys coming, myself coming. You got Clay coming out to compete with his dog. You got Jansen. You got some people who's come out there. You got
When is it again?
it's this weekend. It's Saturday, right?
Oh
So
damn. I was about to say,
you know,
yeah,
so
I'll be out there, but I'm not.
yeah, like yeah. So we got. So have you talked to Ty since y'all had y'all disagreements and worked that out?
Yeah. Oh, it's
Good,
straight.
good,
So we've talked a
good.
bunch since then. So it's not like it's no. I've seen him. Went to other trials. I've been around
Right,
on the scene.
good.
It's just that, and also that I didn't have a dog to do it right. But
Right,
PSA is easiest. Like I can get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got people in Florida that I don't have to pay to get down there. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
when I
right.
go down there, I can have somewhere to stay. I don't have to pay. Like it's easy. So they got at least 3 trials in Florida. They got the Tampa Club, the Orlando Club, and
Yeah.
then I think they got like Cat 5. That's another club down there. So it's 3 clubs there. I'm the only PSA club in Georgia, and
Are you planning on hosting a trial
Tennessee's
next
an
year?
hour away out for PSA.
Yeah.
That's the plan, bro. That's the plan. Like I just had some whole thing with our club, It just made me kind of just want to go back to what I was doing in the beginning. Just me, Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? A couple more people, and that's it.
But
I don't really like
speaking of you in Hollywood, man, y'all back? Is
new
the old
people.
band back together, man?
We've been training together. Just
Okay,
say
good.
that. We've been training together a
That's
little bit.
good. That's good to hear, man. Most definitely.
Yeah, so we never really stopped talking, if that makes sense. Like we always talk. I mean, it was always something going on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Uh, some kind of tension, underlying
Right.
tension, but we never like broke communication for real, for real.
I got you. That makes sense.
Although most people probably thought that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's good, man. It's good, especially us as a whole, getting back together, man. Like, cause you know how it is, man. This dog game, it's hard for any club or group to stay together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that man, I've seen it so many times. And me and Mark has been rocking and rolling
Hey,
for
who
about
you
6, 7 years
telling, bro?
now.
Like the thing is this also, bro. Like, let me see how to say this, man. Whatever, forget it. It's I'm training with people, right? And I have a certain way of training. I don't know everything, right? So when you hit bumps in the road and you're trying to find ways to improvise and correct these problems, there's not gonna be one cookie cutter way for 6 dogs. You got what I'm
Right?
saying?
Yeah.
So these people start signing up for trials in PSA. So I agreed when the dogs were ready for their PDC. I'm like, let's go out, get our PDCs together. We went to Florida. We entered 7 dogs, 5 people passed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So to me, that was
Yeah.
great.
Facts.
So only doing PSA for 9-10 months, less than a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all these same people start signing up for their ones soon after that. It wasn't that long after. So maybe 6 months. They signed up for their ones. And I'm just seeing stuff in training. I'm like, I don't think we're ready. At least not to exhibit my brand of what I would like to
Right.
see from our club on the field.
Facts.
Whereas before, if I told somebody, hey, you're not ready, I don't like that dog. That dog's soft. He got nerve problems, this, that, and other. They would take that and be like, and it's not like you can't see what I'm saying, but they think that they can fix the dog and then compete. But which I'm still looking forward to seeing if that's possible, because they all left. You know what I'm saying? They all left because they were failing.
Right.
I think.
Right.
I think they left because they would start failing, and now they're like, Josh is the reason that they were failing when I never said that you were ready.
Right. I got
You
you.
know what I'm saying? I never blessed that
Right.
ever. So I felt that's, and then they're like, oh, why you don't compete with Reaper? Because he's not ready. Unless when I say out, he's supposed to let that thing out. Guard. Boom. Do what I say clean. When I go to compete, I want to be contending for the high and trial or the best dog there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to just go there and be, oh, I hope I pass. I hope I get my one with low scores.
Right.
I don't want to do that.
Right. Facts.
So
you like me. That's
I took a year off and now I'm doing my thing.
That's how I am with Bandit. Like, he's 2. He turned 2 in September, and the first time he hit the trial field, it was actually on his birthday weekend. He didn't pass. Thought he was gonna pass. You know, it is what it is. Part of the game. We got back to the drawing board, and I'm working right now. If he don't pass here at this nationals, then I'm really gonna sit back and assess the training and go back to the drawing board. I'm really gonna really look at it like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? You know what I'm saying? And just go back to the drawing board. But I got confidence in that he should pass, but at the same time, I'm also a realist about it. Like, you never know. Dealing with a dog on the Saturday or trial day, different field, different decoys, and with the intent he has, it can be a different ball game. But I'm real enough to say that about myself. I don't go in there like, oh, we're gonna go out here and kill this, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna go out here and give it a shot.
Yeah, I feel like at what point would you hang it up with him, or would you just keep trying?
That's a good question, Josh. With him, because he's still so young, and I can see if he wasn't getting better, and I can see a significant difference in his progression, and I'm like, okay, this is doing more harm than we doing good. I mean, we sit out here fighting this all the time, the same problem over and over again. Then I'm like, nah, you know, I should have did something different in the beginning. But to be honest with you, he's actually been a great dog and really shown me that he can do it way before the trial in September. Now, and this is not an excuse, but in August, I was gone 21 days in August. So I didn't get enough. I didn't train him enough in August like I wanted to. But in my mind, like, okay, the last week I was there in August, he was showing me that his outs was still good, still clean. Everything was good. No collars on, doing great. You know what I'm saying? Ran a mock trial, he did great. And then we got to the trial field. I'm like, okay, different people, different environment. That first civil test, he was like, nope. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is different. We was all shocked. Everybody was like, whoa, where did this come from? So I'm like, and I got rushed in my mind on the outs. I could have waited longer. You know what I'm saying? I could have waited longer, but I went when they were saying,
you talking about at the trial.
At the trial. Handle out your dog. I'm like, loose. Handle out your dog. Loose. I was going instantly because I was so shocked. Like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe he's not out.
I couldn't believe it, bro. I was like, what is this?
If you watch the video, I think I posted it. If you watch the video of my run with Reaper, it almost would have been perfect, except for his outs. Now, we get in the car, and this is the weird thing I got about him. If I take him and I put him on a table, and I'm working him on a table, I can say, Reaper Lush, snap right off. If I take him, I put him on the table, anytime his feet, all 4 feet are on something, perfect outs. And this is what I've noticed, and I've tried it with different people. So I'm like, I'll just let him bite, and I'm like, fight him. And I'll make the hardest fight ever, cans rattling and everything. And I'm like, Reaper Lush. He spits it right out. I'm talking about quick.
Perfect.
When I put him on the ground, and he bites the man, but his back feet on the ground, his front feet are on the man. You got what I'm saying? Reaper Lush. Yep. He's going to stay on there. Maybe it's going to take a while to get him off, if I get him off. You got what I'm saying? And so, but I can have the decoy pick him up, put all his feet on something, the table, the top of the hood of the car, anything. Lush, spit right out. I have no idea what that's about.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to make a video so you can see it.
So So your team right now is um who you working with right now? Because you was working with let me see, you working with Hollywood. So you back working with Hollywood. When do you have Sonny with you?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sonny, is Marcus down there, Alexander?
Mm-hmm. You know, we got
Okay,
a
so
squad.
that's your squad.
So it's a guy named Zay. You probably seen he got dreads. His suit says apply pressure or something like that. So
Yeah.
me, Zay, Hollywood, Sonny, Chris, Cortland, Tiki, uh
Yeah,
the
y'all got a
the
team.
young
Yeah.
boy Zakia,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the 3 females, but they left. So I think that's it. And Rob, you know, Cowboy, he comes out sometimes. Mr. Covington, the older guy who was at the throwdown, you probably seen him. Craig was with us. I don't know what the
Yeah.
heck he doing, but yeah, that's it. So, you know, good.
You got your good team, man. That's good, man. Yeah, yeah, man. That's well, I look forward to seeing you guys back on the field, man. But you like me. I'm fixing the problems, man. I'm not out here just to throw a dog on the trial field. That's
Yeah,
not my
not me.
style.
I'm not
I
throwing it
ain't doing
because
that one. You know what I'm saying?
you could be kind of like this famous Instagram person and never really accomplish nothing. I feel like competing kind of gets the respect of your peers, and then what we do, like the scenario you did in the house, uh, that gets the people excited. You got what I'm saying? So like a lot of
Right,
your
yeah.
peers or the other dog trainers are not gonna be super or act like they're not super impressed about that or nothing like that, but you know, the common people will be like, damn, that was awesome, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But competing gets you respected by your peers because it's a person judging you. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody else,
Right.
third party judging your, you know, you're not on the training field, no e-collars, no this. Can your dog perform when under the lights? It's just like doing jujitsu. There's a lot of people who seem like they're good in the gym, but you know, they don't really do well.
One thing I like about competing in trials, it also show your training ability,
Mm-hmm.
and you, not just you, but you as a team, right? And it also, like, that's why I'm so curious to see how this national go, because a lot of people that's competing for the first time that they haven't hit the trial field. So I'm dying to see them compete for multiple reasons. One of the reasons so they can get the experience, and two, so they can see how different it is versus how it looks.
Right, right.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Because there's definitely a
So,
big, huge difference
not,
between training and
not
trialing, for sure.
facts. Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. I'm actually getting ready to go out here and do some training right now, man. We got some
Yeah,
dogs to get ready for
before
trial,
you
man.
get
We got to
off of
get them hit
here,
the
I
field.
was trying to let me see if I can share this screen. If the people haven't seen, tell the people where they can reach you, and then I'm gonna play this video that I was talking about at the you in the house, the little scenario that you had. But tell
Okay.
me what your Instagram, Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. So on Facebook is going to be my first and last name, Jeremy Sebree. On Instagram is PAWFECT _ K9. Also, the website is PAWFECT K9STL.com. You can reach me there. The same thing on TikTok. I got a lot of videos on TikTok as well, but mostly my Instagram is what most people can reach me at on Instagram. So um, I'm always doing seminars and workshops. After this month right here, after this weekend right here, I'm gonna go heavy into isolation and getting my dogs ready for the field next year for
Mm-hmm.
PSA. I'm gonna dabble in that K9 Street League a little bit.
I want to do that too.
Always gonna do something with APPDA. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, so, I'm actually getting ready to dabble in that a little bit as well. Always gonna do something with APDA, man. Um, Stuff like that, man. But this trial is on my priority list right now. This nationals, man. So big thing, big event coming up, man. Everybody gonna have a good time. No BS. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure,
Like,
for
so,
sure.
that's about it, man.
Yep. So y'all sit back, check this video out, and I want y'all to go like and follow my man. Can you see my screen on here?
Yep, I can see it. Yep,
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it.
and my man Smokey.
Yeah, you could kind of talk them through it, man. But this was a amazing video. This is the
Yeah,
kind of
like
stuff I like to do.
like so. Me and the kids are sitting there watching TV on a Saturday. Two guys happen to run in the house, um, guns pointing. My dog react without being told to bite. Um, Second suspect um, came in the house, realized that his partner was getting bit by a dog, so it took his attention off of everything else. And I practiced gun safety and gun control with the kids. So my daughter did what she was supposed to do: go get the gun, and more so before to protect herself. She handled her business. The dog did what he was supposed to do, and right now for everybody, this is a training scenario. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, that wasn't so real." It's not real. It wasn't. It was a training based scenario, but it
Mm-hmm.
also him being in the barbershop, it shows the balance and the clarity of that
Right.
dog. And he's not just out here a wild dog. Like no. And you asked me a question about him earlier. This video right here shows him who he is. He's totally fine. But if anybody was coming to that barbershop on some BS, he would react the same way he did him like he was in my house.
Yep. For sure, man. This dude has been training, and I've seen him from the time he had the bullies to where you've gone now. You've went crazy with the training. Like you become like a standard and like a role model for a lot of people that's coming up in the game. So I look forward to collabing with you on some stuff in the future, and also hopefully you get this. You get this all your certifications, everything you need this weekend for the nationals.
So I want to say a couple of things to you too, brother. Like, from the moment I met you at the Throwdown, man, you always showed me respect, humbleness, man. Like, just always invited me and welcomed me. And even when I had that crazy hiccup with my dog, you seen my failures on the field with my dog. You see me be puzzled, like what happened, and you didn't kick me when I was down. You didn't say nothing. You like, yo, just go back to the drawing board, do this X, Y, and Z. That's what I did. I came back 3 months later for the Battle of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's been a journey. It's been a process for me, man. But I've always appreciated you guys' work. That's one of the reasons I came down to the Throwdown. I'm like, okay, them boys doing some nice things. I also like to support my people.
Right.
Sometimes we don't get the same in return on our end. I'm not talking about for you. I'm just talking about in general. Like we put it out there, and that's one thing about me. I have supported everybody from across the states, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, down
For
south.
sure.
I've been everywhere, so nobody can never say I've not supported their events. Whether it's Charlie, your events, APDA, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm out here supporting everybody. So when I hopefully when I get my stuff right and I start throwing competitions stuff like that, I'm hoping I get the same support in return. But I also would like to do some joint ventures with you, put workshops on together, like do something like that. Y'all need some work getting dogs ready for the field. I'm down.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I appreciate you for having me on, man.
No problem, brother. It was nice
Appreciate you for
talking to
having me
you.
on, man. I look forward to seeing you. All right, Josh. I'll get with you in a minute, brother.